What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media. I'm here with another episode of the AEW Dynamite Post Show. I am your host, Chase, CR Media, as you guys may know me. Below me is my co-host, the one, the only, the ravishing Scotty 2 Hottie, Scotty Claus, as you guys may know him. Raz Dark Wolf. Scott, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, my friend. How
Yeah.
the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
And yes, no, Hunter's right. You did have the iPhone 70 hot tag starts in.
Oh, you know why? Because I edited that video to match the AEW Dynamite post show, and I forgot to change that. So that's awesome. I love it. Good looking out. Good looking out. Hunter Dillon. Hunter, appreciate you joining us tonight. Steven Chambers is up in the chat, guys. Saw Gears of Kai with us earlier. Appreciate everybody joining with us. Scotty Claus, Matthew Holland wants to know where your sleigh is.
In my pants, boy.
Heard that. Wish it didn't, but it did. Guys, appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. As usual, Obviously for internet issues, we weren't live last week. Apologize about that. But we are live this week. We're going to break down all the action from Dynamite. And as usual, at the end of it, we're going to share out the link so you, the viewer, can join with us and talk about what you liked and what you didn't like about AEW Dynamite. So we're going to jump right into it. Scott, how would you rate tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite?
A hell of a lot better than last week.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
Last week, I felt like the show did not start until about halfway through. But this week was a hell of a lot better. Yes,
agreed. So we started off the show with a 8-man tag.
Yeah.
Yep, an 8-man tag with Orange Cassidy, the Acclaimed, and Billy Gunn against Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Santam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. Kind of kick us off here, Scott. What did you think about the opening contest?
To be honest, I was surprised that Jarrett was wrestling, knowing that his dad passed away yesterday.
Agreed.
So sad news on hearing that his dad passed away. Didn't mind the match. Didn't really take too much note of it. There wasn't really much noteworthy in regards to it, but it wasn't horrible. It definitely wasn't a horrible match.
I would definitely agree with you on that. I thought it was a good filler, until to kind of keep the pace going until the Acclaimed and the Gun Boys or the Gun Club, whatever the case may be, until they run it back, so to speak, with the Acclaimed. So just kind of keep them busy and keep them fresh. I thought it worked out pretty well for them. So
which we find out later in the show what is happening with that. So
that's right.
We'll talk about that when we get to it.
That's right.
But then we had the Daniel Bryan video, Bryan Danielson video.
That is correct. And in that promo, he talked about the Boogeyman coming to get MJF.
Yep, I love it.
I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Daniel Bryanson, yeah. I always forget about that. Daniel Bryanson. So one of the things that I will was playing Crash Bandicoot. Nice.
Good game. Great game.
Oh, absolutely. Classic. What is up with my mouse? For fuck's sake. Anyway.
And there goes our PG rating for the night.
Yeah. So the next match, Jake, appreciate you joining, was Claudio and Moxley against Rush and Preston Vance with Jose in a Texas Tornado match. And dude, I don't know about you, man, but I felt like this match went on forever.
It really did. It started in the crowd and before they even got to the ring, and it was like 10 minutes before they even started the damn match. And then when they finally get in the ring, it seemed to go on forever. It just seemed to keep going. Did not want to stop. Like, the match was good. It was a solid as fuck match. The fact that we had Moxley bleeding, we had Preston bleeding, the offense was there, and it was great because it told a story, but it was really long, and I don't think it should have been that long.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that I think it took up a lot of time.
I'm glad we didn't get just a squash match, but
agreed. But I mean, like a 35-minute match. It's a little,
Yeah.
you know, especially on a 2-hour show. Um,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not billed and people aren't expecting it, I completely understand. I just kind of felt the same way. I was kind of like, all right, when's this going to end? Um, what's your stance on blading, my friend?
Are we talking John Moxley's blading? Or are we
I- I'm
talking
I'm
in
talking about
general?
blading. Yeah, I'm just talking about blading in general. Obviously, it's a lot better than to actually do it. There's only one. I think there's only one legit. That's a lie. I was gonna say I think there's only one time I've actually seen somebody legit
Legit.
bust somebody open,
Oh,
but no,
I've
that's
seen a
not
few
true.
times. I've
Yeah,
seen a few times,
the
but
one that comes to mind is Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar.
yeah, with the elbow, yeah.
Yeah,
Which if he'd hit him any harder, Orton would have been probably
yeah,
a vegetable.
yeah. You go back and watch that dude. There's a straight crack in his skull.
Yeah, he
It's
almost caved his head in completely.
yeah, yeah,
He almost like you know how you see when you punch something and it dents. That's what he almost did to Orton's skull.
yeah. No,
But
so I don't mind blading. Blading is not a problem for me. What is a problem is when it's made to look really, really obvious. And Vance had the camera not cut away, and even the camera cutting away is not that much of a savior because if I'm
yeah,
sitting front row and I'm watching you blade, I don't know, man. It kind of like the least you could do is try and hide it.
yeah.
Go crawl, fall out of the ring and kind of stick your head under the apron while you do it or something. I mean,
It, look,
he did
it
it right there in the
blading.
corner, and you could tell Alex went over to help him. And he, like I said, the camera immediately moved away from him and did
Yeah,
like a center cut. But like it's completely different at like an independent wrestling show. Like if I'm at an independent wrestling show, number one, my tickets are $20.
yeah,
Sit front row. 20 or $30 to sit front row. Not a huge deal. I'm not going to sit here and critique those guys. But man, we're on television, and if I paid $100+ to sit front row and I'm watching you blade like
yeah.
right there in front of us, I don't know, man. It's just I guess that's one of those things that's kind of just a pet peeve for me. That kind of like just kind of kind of
No, you're right.
kind of irks
You're
me.
right. It's one of those things that you're paying $100 for a ticket to see a show, and you want to have some semblance of realism there. And
Not
don't get
even
me wrong.
I mean, not some semblance of realism. It's just like, bro, like if I'm sitting right here and I'm watching the guy go,
Yeah,
I mean, like, I mean,
it's one of those things.
like,
Yeah,
come
that
on,
you're just
man.
like
Like,
you're just like, come on, guys. Like
yeah,
at least try to hide it. Like we know you're
yeah,
blading, but guess what? If you hide it, we're not gonna give a shit.
yeah,
We're not actually gonna care.
yeah.
Um,
It's like
I
going to a play. It's like going to a Broadway show, and the people don't even like go behind the curtain to change outfits. They're like,
or the you see the cables
yeah,
hanging from them when they need to fly up
yeah.
and
They're
stuff
like
like that.
tugging. They're like tugging on it. They're like, all right, propel me out, guys. Like, come on, man. At least, at least hide it. I don't know. That's just
Full
it's a
blue
pet.
blazer. That's a
It's
full blue
always been a
blazer
pet.
post just said.
Yeah. God. Yeah, man. It's just one of those things that really kind of irks me. I don't know. It probably bugs me more than what it should, but
No,
oh well.
look, blading would
Um,
be good. It's just needs to be done right. And tonight's blading with Preston just wasn't done right. It definitely was not done right.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Afterwards, we got um Hangman being attacked by the Butcher Blade and Kip Sabian. and then Dark Order ran in to save their former running buddy.
Yeah.
You know, is Dark Order and Adam Page together or what?
Well, once again, we get that towards later in the show. We get a semblance of what's going on with them. Um, you'd think after the past few weeks, no, but then they keep running it back, as you said, like they keep running it all back, and it's like, do we actually have that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And yeah, it's confusing. It's really confusing, and I don't know what to think of it. Like, I like Dark Order, but as Steven said, they've been stuck in catering,
Yep.
and it just sucks that they're
Yeah.
stuck in catering because they are bloody talented people.
Yep. And that's the thing is it's like they just they haven't gotten out of this funk since Brody Lee passed. And I thought with Preston Vance turning on them and going his own way, I thought maybe it would cause a change with them,
Yeah,
but they're still stuck in limbo, it seems. And Preston Vance is now moving on and doing things, whether it's exciting or not, but Preston Vance is at least doing something. Whereas
yeah.
Dark Order is still just stuck in the in the in the in the thick of things. So, God, get the fuck out of here. God,
Whose Twitch
no,
was that on?
that was yours.
That also fucking was.
It happens. It happens to all of us. It
Yeah,
happens on mine too. So, anyways, uh, I just I was super excited. We'll get into the Dark Order thing, but I mean, dude, seriously. I mean, oh man, look, Mark's upset. Look at Mark. Mark is here tonight.
yeah,
Look at that. So the next match, man, I'll tell you what, I really like that AEW and Tony Khan are doing this thing with uh with Mark Briscoe right now. I love it. Um,
yeah. I'm just annoyed that it's. I'm just annoyed that it's a one of those things that it's come out of the blue, sort of thing. Like, well, not out of the blue, but after the fact of, um,
Jay's
he,
passing.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, like it's hard not to feel that way. But at the end of the day, like, at least he's being used. At least they're calling him. At least they're bringing him in. I did the same thing, man. 15 years ago when WWE did that with Ray, it was like WWE never saw Rey Mysterio as a main event caliber guy. WWE never saw Rey Mysterio as the world heavyweight champion until Eddie died. And then when Eddie died, they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll capitalize on this cash cow and make Rey Mysterio the world champion." And I feel like maybe AEW is kind of doing the same thing with Mark.
yeah,
And fine, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But hopefully the fans still stand behind Mark for that reason,
yeah,
and hopefully AEW sees some value in that and still continue to push him. So
yeah.
I 1,000%. I totally
I
get what
think
you're saying, but I
the
do the
thing
same.
about it is the Briscoes were a great team anyway, and they had a following anyway. So the fact that he's allowed on TV is a good thing. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it just
absolutely.
sucks that his brother had to pass away for it to be that situation.
Yep. I 100% agree.
Yeah,
But he got a standing ovation He had a great showing against Josh Woods.
Yep.
You know,
That was a
uh,
damn good match. Like that was a solid match.
mhm.
The fact that we got Lucha Bros, the Lucha Bros coming out to save him, that was a bit confusing. But like Woods, Josh Woods can go, and so can
Oh,
Mark Briscoe.
absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Um, Renee Paquette sat down with Adam Cole, who said he couldn't be happier to be back on the road to recovery in
Yep.
AEW. He says he has a few people he'll want to face, but he'll keep it to himself, and it will be good for All Elite Wrestling and good for Adam Cole when he returns to action. So, um,
Still nothing to hint at who he's going after.
no, no, and I'm very curious as to who that might be. You think it could be Hangman?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but
I mean,
I pre-
is he gonna wrestle at Revolution, or is he going to? Because what I
well,
can
he
see is if he doesn't wrestle at Revolution, then what I could see happening is Hangman beating Moxley, and
yeah,
then after the dust settles, then Cole comes out and attacks Hangman,
I agree.
or not attacks him, but challenges him
I
because
actually
Cole's
like
a baby
Stevens.
face.
I like Stevens' take here.
Oh, 1,000%. But I don't know if I don't know where Jay White's going.
No one
There's
knows where he's going. I
yeah,
mean, I know WWE is very freaking interested in him.
they've had a lot of reports come out lately that WWE is wanting to pursue him, and I mean, if WWE pursues him, I think that's the obvious place he goes.
But there's also
Um,
talk that once again of contract tampering and
yeah, obviously.
like old mate from FTR getting a little bit
But so here's
as
the
well.
thing, like here's the thing, we don't know if that's real or not. Did he really tweet that and delete it? Or
Well, there was a retweet, or he retweeted it afterwards with it edited so that you wouldn't see
yeah.
the logo. So are the E playing games again?
Oh, absolutely.
And if they are, that's going to cost them a lot of money, and it's going to put a
Yeah.
big big um, negative on people wanting to go to their company because of the fact that they've tampered.
I don't
And
think it. I don't think it'll put a big negative on people wanting to go to the company, but I think it will. Um, I mean, listen, I love Hunter, and I love what Hunter's doing with WWE right now. But I
yeah,
have said it since day one. Hunter learned to do business from the guy who he just took the business from. Right.
this is true. Yeah,
Right. So when he does stuff that is Vince McMahon esque, like don't get surprised. Don't be like, oh my God, I can't believe Hunter would do that. Like 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 I said, like Hunter learned the business from Vince, and Vince was cutthroat, and Vince was I don't have to play by the rules because I've got the money to do so, and I'm the most powerful wrestling company. You know, call it what you will, whether it's
yeah.
conquering or whatever, but there was people in the 70s and the 80s that couldn't stand Vince McMahon, that hated him.
And there's people that still don't like him.
According to him, there was, back then, it was real different, territory wrestling and whatnot. And, the mob was, because, there wasn't, times were different. The mob was a big thing, right?
Yeah,
Um, so they had wrestlers that were like, or not wrestlers, but they had promoters. According to Vince, this is a story from Vince on Pat McAfee's show. He had wrestling promoters who were wanting to put hits out on him with the mob.
I believe that.
Yeah, because he was putting them out of business. And, like I said, at the end of the day, Hunter, awesome. Great what he's done with WWE in the past 6 months, 8 months, whatever. But at the end of the day, he still learned all that from Vince McMahon. So let's not get super shocked when Hunter starts doing Vince McMahon-esque things. So,
Yeah.
but I'm very interested to see how this whole contract tampering thing goes. Um, I don't know if I don't know the repercussions of it. I mean,
I guess it puts a sour taste in anyone's mouth, really, because it's like, well, if you're willing, and if it's real, um, like it's definitely going to piss Tony off because he
oh yeah,
trusted.
you saw what happened. You saw what happened last time.
It's like you trust these guys. You trust these guys. You employ them. You give them a contract. You're paying them millions of dollars over a period of the contract. And okay, their contract's coming up soon, but they couldn't wait another 2-3 months to go into those negotiations.
Yeah.
Like that's not cool. It would be like me turning around and going on someone else's show
Yeah.
while still
Going and doing a show of your own.
while giving you lip service of saying, yeah, I'm going to say I'll stick with you, blah blah blah, and
Yeah,
yeah, you've got
I'll be there Wednesday night, but then Wednesday night
comes along
you
and
turn on your own show and do your own thing. Yeah. No,
yeah,
I
exactly.
know. Like it's a complete it's a complete disregard for but I don't know if Tony and FTR's relationship is like that. It may just strictly be business. And if it's just business, then it's just business.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something. Do you think the media scrum had something to do with it?
What the contract tampering or the fact of the way he acted at the media scrum with
No,
Punk?
I
Oh,
think I think their decision to ultimately leave AEW, do you think the do you think that the all
there,
out media scrum has something to do with that?
oh, possibly because like he
Because
has
like
said that.
let's rewind the clock here a little bit. We all on this show have assumed, and a lot of people have assumed, that Punk and FTR were going to do business,
Yeah,
and they were going to give us this big like feud and
we're going to get the
situation
elite
with
versus
yeah.
FTR or Punk TR, as I've been saying.
And
Yeah,
a lot of
Um,
that has been played into Dax going on podcasts and talking about how good of a guy CM Punk is and how he doesn't have anything negative to say about CM Punk and how the media perceives CM Punk in a way that is not like him and all this other stuff. And we thought that that was a work. We thought that that was preparing us for this feud, but was it?
could
Or
it
is
all be?
it? Or
Could it
is
all be a
Dax?
work though? Could it
Well,
all be a work like that?
well, of course, of course.
Could even this be a work that
Yeah.
like Tony's told him tweet this out so that there's that little bit of speculation
Daniel Barry,
and
appreciate you joining, sir.
and that you get that you know that internet mentality going of like exactly what we're doing. We're talking about the situation where
Of course, Scott. I think it could be, but at the end of it, I think we're giving them too much credit. Um, you know, I think, you know, I mean,
it's I guess it's just one of those things, and um, I I don't know what to say from here, like with regards to the FDR situation. Stephen, I hope you're right. I hope they are one of the teams that comes in for what we're going to talk about later in the show. But um, I don't know.
but I mean, like, just to dial it back, like I said, with FTR, Dax and Harwood are not Triple H guys. They have
No,
no connection to Hunter whatsoever. So I
no.
mean, this
They
move,
were Vince guys. They were
yeah,
Vince's guys.
this move is strictly a business move, a money move. But part of me wonders, like, hey, like, what are we looking at here? Are we looking at staying, or I mean, do we really want to stay in a company that sided with the Bucks and the whole thing in that situation that happened with Punk, somebody who we admire and respect?
Yeah,
Or are we going to go somewhere else and make more money?
yeah, and I guess we'll find out the hard way. Really, um, we're just going to find out the hard way. We have to wait and see. We can't. As much as it freaking sucks, we can't fantasy book this in our heads
Yeah,
to the point where we're going to be right, because at the end of the day, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Money may talk,
that's right.
and for all we know, they've already discussed with Tony about working for them for the next 5 years, or for AEW for the next 5 years. They may have already discussed it, and probably they may have an agree. Sorry, my words are not working right now. They may have an agreement in place where they take the time to go do their side shows. Like they go to Japan, they go to MLW, they go to CMLL and all, or AAA and all that sort of shit. But I mean, clearly not AAA after the whole fallout with Conan. And you need to unmute yourself before you try talking, Chase.
I wasn't talking.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were trying to talk. And
Oh, you're good. I was laughing at what you were talking about with the CMLL thing.
yeah, and like the whole bullshit that they signed, WWE signed Dragon Lee and stole the belts off of FTR doesn't
Yeah,
look good.
it doesn't.
It does not look good.
No, it's weird, and um, you know, if I mean, I guess if that was the case, I mean, you would have to think that they privy Tony to some of that stuff. If because I mean, they went and lost the ROH titles, they went and lost the AAA titles. I mean, you had to think that those guys were telling Tony something like, "Hey, like we're probably not going to stick around," or like you said, maybe it's a work. And maybe Tony was like, "Hey, we're gonna have you drop all these belts and make everybody question, and you can even post a WWE contract in your on online and delete it, and then retweet the picture without it. I mean, who knows?
How do we know that bloody that that contract isn't from back when they were with the company? Like, how do we know that? We don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Um, we'll move on from it. We'll move on from it. We'll
Yes.
we'll definitely revisit this.
Yeah.
But
We'll have to
oh yeah,
because this all started from us talking about Adam Cole. So
yeah. Um,
it's funny how we went from Adam Cole to FTR in
right.
such a boom.
So MJF's promo.
So you guys, and I mean the people who were watching on TNT or TBS or whatever, like network TV, missed something about that actually, because during the commercial break, he came out and the crowd started to boo him. He gets the live mic and he's like, "You're all shit for bullying me," blah blah blah. And then he turned around and said, "I don't give a fuck." On it on the if you watch it back on the Fight app.
Yeah.
So, and it's uncensored on a live mic. So,
Awesome. I love it.
yeah, and it was on
I love it.
technically commercial for you guys, but yeah, that's one of the perks of having it on Fight TV. So,
Yeah.
I'm thankful that they didn't drop that over here because ESPN has it over here now on Foxtel. So it's a good move for AEW, but it's better that they keep Fight as one of the options.
Yeah. You know, all it said or all that happened here was they did picture in picture for us.
Yeah.
And he threw a drink at a fan, through a fan's phone.
Yep.
I I don't know about that, man. I don't do contract plans for my phones. I buy my phones with cash.
Yeah, but you know that they're marks. You know that they're marks.
All right, good. Yeah, I was gonna say because if I paid $1,100 for my phone, if he fucking threw my phone,
I'm pretty sure
my
if
phone,
it
I'd
was
beat
you,
dog shit out of that dude.
I'm pretty sure if it was you and he stole your phone, like Tony would reimburse you or something. Like AEW would be like, yeah, we'll get his details. Here's $2,000. Buy yourself a new phone.
Yeah.
buy the brand new AEW mobile.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that is one of the next products, AEW mobile.
So speaking of Tony Khan and AEW and everything, so they the Super Bowl here in the States was just this Sunday. Congratulations to the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. But
Who?
prior to that,
Who?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Who?
The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champs.
I don't know who you're talking about. Could you repeat that one more time?
The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champs.
And
just in case Jake didn't know who won.
And who was their star player?
Patrick Mahomes. Patrick LaVon Mahomes II, the greatest quarterback in the world. Anyways, so look, Matthew's upset. I think because Matthew's from PA, he must be an Eagles fan.
I want to come back to that in a minute. I want to actually say something because I would have to say that I'm going to have to say it now, actually. The Chiefs lineup. Do you think that Mahomes would be anything without some of like a certain other player?
Without a tight end? 1,000%. Because they said something last year about the same thing, Scott. We traded away our number one wide receiver, and everybody was like, well, now it's time for Mahomes to be a regular quarterback because he doesn't have his star player anymore. And look what happened. He led the league in passing yards, and he was the season MVP. So suck it, bitches. Suck it, bitches.
What's the guy's name?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Kelce.
Yep.
His receiver.
They did the same thing last year. Our number one wide receiver was Tyreek Hill. It's Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are our two number one guys. But they only account for 30% of Mahomes' touchdowns and passing yards. I did this whole thing last year when everybody was like, "Oh, you guys traded away Hill, and now Patrick Mahomes is going to be a regular quarterback. You guys are going to get exposed." He has nobody to throw to now. Yeah, he made guys like Juju Smith-Schuster and MVS and all these other fucking nobodies look fucking great on our team. So right here on these nuts, bitches.
As you can tell, Chase has no feelings about the NFL whatsoever.
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you what, so we're live on Sports Empire Network, and our guys over at Sports Empire Network, much love to them, but a lot of them are Philadelphia Eagles fans. And there was a couple of them who were a little salty. One of them who's a lot salty still. I heard him talking on his show the other day about, oh man, they didn't call this play and they didn't call that play and they didn't call this play. And I'm just like, cry about it. Fucking cry me a river, build me a bridge, and get the fuck over it.
100%.
You lost. Anyways, so where were we going with that? We were going somewhere very good with that, and I forgot where I was.
I love Hunter. I love Hunter. Stay on point. This is the Dynamite post show, not the Super Bowl
post show. That's right. That's right. Hey, in my defense, Scotty brought it up.
We were talking about MJF fucking flinging the shit out of someone's phone.
Oh, yeah. So, Tony, that's what we were talking about. Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Because we brought up Tony Khan. He got asked at the Super Bowl festivities this weekend about him and his dad being potential buyers for WWE. And he smiled real big and he said, of course, he said, anytime there's good wrestling on the table to be bought. And he was like, I'm definitely always going to be interested. So we'll see what comes of it. And I was like, damn. So the dude straight up asked him, he was like, is it true that you and your dad could be partnering up and possibly looking at purchasing WWE? And he was like, absolutely. He's like, anytime good wrestling is on the table to be purchased, I'll be right there.
Who the hell wouldn't if you're Tony Khan? Like,
oh yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
Tony Khan and you can get the money, if you can get the money together, why the hell wouldn't you have like the two biggest companies in America under your belt? Like, you could keep them. You could keep them separate. Yeah, you could have stars cross over from each show.
Yeah,
but you've got a multi-billion-dollar library in WWE of what 50, 60 plus years of footage.
And we always looked at WWE the past 20 years. We looked at WWE as the biggest issue with WWE was they had no competition.
Yeah.
And then when competition came, you saw things started to get better. Like, Hunter put the pedal to the metal on NXT. NXT was very, very good. And all that other stuff. Competition creates great products. Like, and we always talked about WWE's biggest issue was they didn't have competition. I just don't believe. I believe that's how Vince was. I don't believe, because Tony's never looked at this as a competition until WWE started stepping on Tony's toes. Yeah. Tony never looked at it as competition. He just said, "Hey, I'm the only wrestling company. I'm the biggest wrestling company to come put fire to their toes in the past 20 years." That's all he said. There's no competing with it. The idea was just to present people with an alternative. And that's exactly what he's done. So if Tony and Shad Khan buy WWE with another purchaser, I don't think Tony goes into this thing where he's like, okay, we're just going to collapse WWE and it's all going to be AEW and it's all going to be under one roof.
Hell no. That would just be absolutely moronic to do, because
But that's what Vince did. That's what Vince did 20 years ago.
But the thing is, the WWE has that history. And like, the difference is that the sale of WWE compared to the sale of WCW, WCW went for a packet of peanuts compared to what the sale of WWE is going to go for.
Well, the market in the world was really, really different back then.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you had $4 million back then, you could have bought the bloody company.
Yeah, but like I said, like, the market was just different, because you have to think about the people who didn't have that money to buy WCW that wanted to. Hulk Hogan wanted to buy it, didn't have the disposable funds to do so. And Hulk Hogan's made a lot of money. Hulk Hogan's made a lot of money in his lifetime.
Macho Man
Eric
Randy
Bischoff.
Savage had a set of backers.
Yeah. Eric Bischoff wanted to buy it, but
The
didn't
only
have
reason,
4 million of disposable income to buy it. Like,
actually, Eric Bischoff had it. What killed Eric Bischoff's momentum on it was the fact that they lost the TV deal. The fact that Turner took him off not Turner, but AOL took WCW off of TV. That's what killed it.
But they could have, but Bischoff could have found another thing. It's just like I said back then, you know, like to them nowadays, and the money that they've made off of royalties and everything like that, $4 million doesn't sound like a big deal, right? Especially when we're talking about what WWE is selling for now.
Yeah.
But because of what the market has done in the past 20 years, like that's why WWE is billions now. We're not looking at hundreds of millions now. Now we're looking at billions because of how much everything has changed. Where back then, $4 million for a library and for a company probably still was a lot of money in 2000.
Oh, it definitely was a lot of money. I mean, I never thought I'd see $4 million in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Fuck, winning $1,000 on anything was a huge amount of cash in 2000.
Yeah,
like
exactly. You know, so did you just have a swarm of bees fly into your house?
Fucking hell.
But yeah, man, I just don't think that if Tony Khan purchased WWE or if the Khan family purchased WWE, I don't think it would be one of those things where it's like where what Vince did, he would just keep the digital assets and then boom, like go forward with it.
No,
you think it sounded like Godzilla?
WWE would still exist. It would exist.
Look, Matthew's really hung up on Brody Lee tonight. It's weird.
They did mention Brody Lee on the show tonight, actually.
Oh, I know. They mention Brody Lee every opportunity they get.
Yeah.
Which is good. Keep the memory alive.
Yeah. But no, WWE would still be alive. Like if Tony would not be that stupid. He would not turn around and shut that company down because you have too many people that pay attention to that product.
Yeah.
Like, as much as the product sucks balls at times, there is too many eyes on that product. And you can throw stars in between shows. You can get the crossover feuds that you want. And you can go, okay, well, this guy isn't working here, like working well over here on our product, which is more for your 18 to 34-year-olds. We'll chuck him over to the PG rated show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no tampering anymore. There's no, I like the idea. I think that some people have a huge issue with it because some people think that if the Khans bought WWE, that Tony would run WWE the same way he runs ROH and AEW, and I just don't.
No,
that's just unrealistic.
He's even said that he's had conversations with Steph. He's had conversations with Stephanie McMahon. I'm sure that if he bought it, he could convince her to get Hunter to stay on.
Yeah,
and Hunter would get essentially more control of the show than he's got right now, because obviously he's got control, but he still has to appeal to the wider audience and the investors and shit like that.
Yeah.
But he'd probably have a bit more freedom in that regard to go, okay, there's a bit of edge that we can chuck back into the show now.
Yeah, exactly. So just to kind of go back to the main show, we've got MJF called out Christopher Daniels, and then Christopher Daniels, man, he came right out and sold our boy MJF right down the river
I
He
love
said,
that.
he said MJF paid me to come out here and say a bunch of terrible things about Bryan Danielson, and he's like, I'm just not going to do it.
I
And
love that. I absolutely love that. That was
yeah,
perfect. I mean, Daniels is great. Sad that he's not being used on AEW. It's sad, but the dude has talent and has for years.
I think that dude, his eye. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude. I
What I was like, did he bust it on the way down, or was he taking a shit beforehand?
no, he had his eye fucked up in a match months
Okay,
ago,
and it's
and his
still not
eyes
healed.
his eyes fucked up, dude. Like,
Damn, son.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to. I'm curious to know that, like, if it's really messed up, or if it stayed messed up for so long that he just kind of adopted it and now he wears contacts.
Maybe,
So, but
maybe a prosthetic. Yeah,
so after that, the point that you mentioned earlier in the show with the Acclaimed and the Gun Club, the
yep,
Guns celebrate their tag team title victory last week. Colton said they've had 10 televised matches and teaming for 1 year.
yep,
Come Revolution, welcome to the Gun Show. And then the Acclaimed laid out that challenge.
yep.
So
And we get
sounds
a
like it.
no that section didn't happen for a little bit later.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna bury it in there, but
okay, if you want to bury it together, we can bury it together. That's fine.
let's do that then. Let's do that then.
It's up to you.
So the Gun Club versus the Acclaim versus two winning teams of the upcoming Battle Royals.
Yeah.
Is it? You think it's safe to say that Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett would be one of those tag teams?
Next question. Can I borrow Hunter's skip card?
I heard that. Wish you didn't hear that, but I heard that.
I will borrow Hunter's skip card if that is the case.
Yeah. Jungle Boy Jack Perry wrestled against Brian Cage.
Solid match.
Yeah. Um,
Hunter gave me the skip card.
Yeah.
And hello, Dean. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Dean Houston, appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. So
solid match. Ending.
Yeah. So I mean, I was gonna say, last time these two faced, I was cool with Jack Perry beating Brian Cage, man, but I don't know, man. Like, again,
I think if they're not going to do anything with Brian Cage, even though he isn't one of the 6-man tag champs in ROH, let him go.
Hell yeah. Let's squash the fuck out of him, and
just
then let us go. Let his big dumb ass go to WWE. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I like Brian Cage, but you know, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, if they're not going to do anything with him, then let's just
let him go. He needs to have that opportunity to flourish or flounder.
Yep. Agreed.
What did you think of the...
Hey, open that window and tell whoever just drove down the street to slow the fuck down. You got kids. Seriously, don't yell at them. Say, I got kids, motherfucker. Slow down.
Please run over my kids. No, not real.
Heard that. Wish you didn't, but I did.
For all those who heard that, it's not true. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. I plead the fifth. On my kids, not your kids.
Please do not put in a report to the Australian Federal Police, because I do not need them knocking on my door.
I heard that. Wish it didn't, but it did.
So at the end of this match, we got the return of old mate Christian Cage.
Yeah. Yep.
Little
So we're gonna run back this feud with Christian and Jack Perry one more time, man. I
Yep.
am so excited. I can't wait to watch this match one more time because we haven't seen it enough. And I didn't think it was right that Jack Perry didn't beat Christian because why would Christian beat Jack Perry? You know,
This is
yeah,
my feelings.
yeah, exactly.
Fuck it, I'm going to sleep.
Yep. Yeah.
If that like that feud,
This is where I'm borrowing Hunter's skip card. Uh
like I like Jack
Listen,
Perry,
if
but
Christian comes in and him and Jack Perry run another match back and Jack Perry beats the shit out of Christian, I'm totally cool with it. Now let's move on.
yeah,
But if I've got to watch Christian beat Jack Perry again, I'm done. Like this is stupid.
I
Like
love Kai. I
yeah,
love Kai.
I'm almost excited for this match as I am for Tyrus and Bully Ray pure election. Yep. Exactly.
I love it. I love
Exactly.
it. Even Steven's using a skip card.
Well, you know, Tyrus and Bully Ray is a little bit different. You know, at least Christian and Jack Perry isn't for the world championship.
And at
Jesus.
least Christian and Jack Perry can wrestle.
Yeah. Heard that. Wish it didn't, but it did.
Then we get to the announcement of the battle royal tag.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we get a fatal 4-way for Revolution. Like, don't get me wrong, keen to see who is going to be in this tournament because we got two lots of the friggin' we got two battle royals for it.
Yeah.
I really freaking hope that it's not Jeff Jarrett. That's my one hope. But
It's the only one that makes sense.
I know. Sadly, it's the only one that
they're the
makes
ones
sense.
that have been they're the ones that have been running this thing with the Acclaimed and the Gun Club.
I mean, I guess the only other you're muted, I think.
Oh, I barely just hit it. Yep. My bad.
Just the tip.
Yep, just the tip of my mouse.
You really need to close that window, that other browser window.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, Gears of Kai says that's true. I really like Jack Perry. Just wish he'd be put with other people. It's not other people so much as it is like my problem is Christian brings nothing to the table in AEW other than experience. That's it.
Yeah.
And when you're somebody who's at the edge of his career, no pun intended, like Christian, the one thing you should be doing is putting over young top future talent. And I say top future talent because AEW is the one that called Jungle Boy Jack Perry a pillar of AEW. So when you're trying to put over a pillar of the future, you're not doing this kid any favors by beating him and then leaving with a fucking injury for months.
Yeah.
What? Like, are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. No, not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
Um,
You know, bad joke. Leave. Go home. All right, guys. Good night. End of show. Peace out. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem if it was Luchasaurus. If we got Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy again, cool. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, yes, we've seen it, but at least it's better than getting Jungle Boy and Christian. because I don't know how this one's going to go. You could say, well,
Look,
maybe,
it's
it would just make sense for Jungle Boy to beat Christian this time, right? Yeah, it have fucking made sense last time because like I said, Christian was leaving with an injury.
I
Why
mean,
did
they were
he get
both
to?
out. They
Why
were
did he
both
get
out
to
with
go over
injury.
on Jungle Boy if he was leaving with an injury?
But
What?
they were both out with injury at that point as well. Like,
Not as
it
long as
wasn't.
Christian, obviously.
Yeah, clearly,
Yeah,
Christian was out the longer of the two, but um, no, it made absolutely no sense. So
yeah.
it made
Uh,
absolutely no sense to bring him back and re go over this feud.
yeah. Like I said, if Jungle Boy kicks his ass and beats him, fine, cool, all right, I'll settle with it. But like I said, if I gotta watch Christian, uh, stomp down Jungle Boy and
Yeah,
watch Jungle Boy, claw with his life, like, so he's beating Brian Cage with these sneaky roll up pins, but he can't fucking beat Christian.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
and that's the one thing I need to bring up as well. Are we getting the roll up, the WWE roll up again? As is that a thing again?
I
Is
like
that
it.
turning? Is that turning into a thing again?
I like it.
Yeah, but that's the way all WWE matches were being won for fucking 6 months straight. Oh, the
Yeah, I
sneaky
mean,
roll up, the sneaky roll up, the sneaky roll up.
I don't mind if it's used here or there. And if you want me to believe that a guy like if you want me and other people to believe a guy like Jungle Boy, a guy of Jungle Boy's size can beat a guy of Brian Cage's stature,
Yeah.
a roll up or a small package is the best way to do it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like
You know,
it makes sense in that regard. It makes sense in the regard that Jungle Boy is nowhere near the size um,
yeah,
of Brian Cage. Like Jungle Boy is probably my size, and then Brian Cage is probably like Big Show, essentially.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, Brian Cage is
but
actually pretty
it
short,
makes
but
sense that way.
yeah, Brian
But
Cage is actually pretty short, but he's fucking shredded. So
oh, definitely,
yeah,
man. Like built like a brick shithouse, as we say here in Australia.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not disappearing.
Just getting your weed.
Yes. My legal weed.
I'll never forget that. Um,
Hunter, not Hunter, fucking Axel, thinking
yeah.
I'm rolling doobies and just fucking chain smoking fucking blunts on stream.
Oh man. Um, this what I so I'm gonna run past this promo real quick. I'm not gonna. I don't even want to. I don't want to stay on it too long. Let's just yeah. Let's just move on, my friend.
It's just for Rampage. That's all.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
AR Fox and Top Flight are gonna go against the Bucks and Kenny.
It's actually going to be a championship match this week.
Yep. Good for them. I just,
we all know the outcome, so no point.
Absolutely. Hangman Adam Page against Kip Sabian.
Now, I liked this match. I think smart move putting Kip Sabian towards the top of the card. Right.
I agree.
Top of the card. Kip Sabian is talented. Kip Sabian has some great in-ring skills. The crowd, unfortunately, was dead as fuck.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
The crowd did not know how to get invested in this match.
But but I would almost argue that the crowd was maybe a little bit more lively for the main event, which
Yeah.
comes right after this.
No, it doesn't.
Um,
We get an in-ring segment, then we
yeah,
get another.
but I mean, yeah, the in-ring segment, but the match after this is that, and that's what I'm talking about. Is that in-ring segment help get the crowd active back a
Yeah,
little bit for the main event, and to kind of piggyback what we were talking about earlier. Do you think that possibly is a result of that match being so fucking long earlier? Like that the crowd was gassed out. That like, man,
I
I
think
do that.
I,
I'm a big guy. I'm out of shape. I'm in nowhere near as good a shape as I used to be in.
I
I'm
think it's
heavily out
more.
of shape. But when I stand for a while, man, eventually there's got to come a point where I got to sit down and like just
I
relax a
think
little bit.
I think for this it was more of the fact that they don't know how to get invested in Kip, and the investment that they had with Hangman has dropped off because of his feud with Moxley. Like the feud with Moxley has been good, but it feels that little bit forced.
Yeah. No,
If we go
I
back and if we go back to when Moxley got laid out previously, when it was the world title, it had to do with the title match, and you had Hangman coming out. Do you remember Moxley was put in the Hangman position?
yeah.
Why can't we play with that? Why can't we play that it was him that knocked him out?
I think we will eventually.
And
We're either gonna get that, or we're either gonna get that, or we're gonna get that it was Adam Cole.
yeah, but like that segment with um, BCC coming out, I was expecting, especially with what Hangman had to say, I was expecting for it to be a steel cage match at Revolution.
Yep.
Or and when Moxley said
I really don't give two fucks about a Texas death match.
when he said
I'd rather
when
see a last
Moxley
man standing match.
when he said Moxley said that Hangman's got no friends, I was like, okay, Dark Order is going to come out and
Yep.
we're going to get blood and guts.
I actually probably would have rather seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get blood and guts.
Steven brings up a really great point, guys. Revolution is going to be at least a 6-hour pay-per-view because there's a 1-hour Iron Man match and then a Texas death match. By the way, if you are wanting to hang out and watch the Revolution pay-per-view,
Click
you
that
can
subscribe button.
Yep. You've got to be a subscriber on the Twitch and join the Discord. And then you can watch it in the Discord for free. So but you gotta be a subscriber to the Twitch. Otherwise you can't watch it. So it's not for free. So
Yeah. I was really hoping that we'd get something other than a Texas death match, because how many of them we had now?
I agree. And you know, here's my
had
thing.
another barbed wire and bombs match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, since I thought that we would have learned our lesson with the death matches and the exploding barbed wire matches after that whole thing, and they just keep doing them, and like, so there's this thing like there is a huge fan base and there is a huge following for death matches, guys. So
100%.
people are legit upset when people hear AEW go, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a death match," and it's not a death match. Like,
It's a standard match with weapons.
yeah, like, stop calling it a death match, please.
If you want a Texas death match, give them both fucking revolvers. stand in the ring, walk fucking 5 paces apart, shoot each other. Bang, death match.
Do you feel lucky? Do you?
And Cowboy and Hangman being a cowboy should be quicker than John Moxley. It'll give John Moxley a chance to go on his fucking holiday that he's never going to get. The guy's never going to get his bloody holiday.
Yeah. I just got sent this. This is very interesting before we continue on, because we've
Someone find my nudes.
Huh?
Did someone find my nudes? Are we being
No,
canceled?
not yet. Cody Rhodes told Peter Rosenberg that his WrestleMania 39 weight belt that he's going to wear to the ring will feature the logo of every wrestling promotion he worked for while he was away from WWE.
So he's going to have Impact, ROH, New Japan, AEW, MLW. Was he ever in MLW? Was he ever?
I don't think so.
No. So he's going to have those.
But do you really? He said every independent wrestling promotion. So does AEW count as an independent wrestling promotion?
I mean,
and think about this. Do you think if Cody walks out, if you think that, let's say this, that comment that he made to Peter Rosenberg goes viral, right? Every independent wrestling promotion. Okay. So then he walks out with AEW's logo on there. Do you think Tony jumps on Twitter and talks shit because he doesn't consider AEW an independent wrestling promotion?
Or has the company already been sold? And was Cody just a bait and switch?
Who knows?
Fucking talk about a work. That would be the biggest work in the history of this business.
Yeah, but Cody signed with them before they were for sale.
Were they though? Were they for sale then? Like, was there?
Scott,
could there
man,
be a deal? Could there have been a deal done for Cody going back?
Knock it off. I get worked up into a frenzy when every wrestling fan thinks everything's a work.
This is a TikTok clip for you.
No, it's not. Somebody will be like, Jarrett died, and then wrestling fans will be like, it's a work. It's a work. It's a work. Jeff is pulling one over. This is another horrible storyline from Dixie Carter and Jeff Jarrett. The Jericho Appreciation Society promo where Jericho tells Ricky Starks that he's done with him, and then Daniel Garcia challenges him. Those were my sentiments exactly. And then Tony Schiavone, after a commercial, we get another Tony Schiavone promo, this time with Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy.
Some bullshit about Hook and being suspended.
Isaiah Cassidy moaning in everybody's ear all the time cracks me up.
You do that too well, Chase.
I know.
You'd be great for voiceover work in adult movies.
Exactly. Although my voice is extremely dry. Gears says, man, that's not going to go over very well with Mark, is it? Anytime Jericho's on screen, I know I can take a nap for about 15 minutes. That's good shit right there, Kai. That is good shit. All right.
Let's put it this way, Kai. If Mark was here, you'd be booted.
Yeah. Um,
And then we get the main event.
yes. Now I'm trying to slowly but gradually get over this whole, um, you know, I'm
No,
trying to get over this whole heel turn, face turn thing. It was a good match. It's just I'm trying to.
were you watching the same fucking match I was watching?
Yeah, I was.
Like, I'm sorry, but Ruby Soho botched multiple times.
Did she?
Multiple times. The part where she's going to in the middle of the ring and she's deciding on who she's going to go for, when she ran over
It
towards.
was a little it was a little clunky. But I'm enjoying the story that they're telling is what I mean. Not the
I
match
get.
itself, but I'm enjoying the story they're telling because I'm coming around to the story now that I'm getting over the the heel turn. So yes, the match was clunky. I will agree with that. But I'm talking about
Yeah.
the storytelling with it.
Okay, story
I am
wise,
coming to it.
we're finally getting something from the women's division in regards to a story, and we're getting the us versus them mentality, which is a great thing, but has been done to death.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be interesting to see who they bring in as part, like, to fill out the teams and shit like that. Are we going to get Mercedes come in as one of them, and are we going to get Hikaru Shida siding with Britt Baker and all that sort of stuff?
I'm going to tell you what, man. As far as Mercedes goes, the only play I see for Mercedes is Jade. I don't see Mercedes fitting into this us versus them story. I don't see her meshing well with Soraya. Like I said, the way I see it is the only way that she plug and plays into something with AEW is with Jade. That's
Yeah,
it.
and that's the
And what's crazy
agree
to
with you
me
on that
is that I think that's a way bigger story than her in Japan. I'm super happy for her in Japan, and I think I hope she kills it there. But I mean, like for me, my um my investment is in her coming to AEW and facing Jade. I like that just because like yes I watch New Japan, yes I watch Japan wrestling. I pay my $10 a month to watch New Japan World,
one. Yeah.
um but
Do you
uh
really think? Like, I agree with you 100% that her and Jade is where it's at with
yep,
regards to her coming in.
yep,
Her coming in and trying to go for the AEW women's title, like the women's world title, is just not. It's non-negotiable. Like that, she stays away from that.
yep,
If she can't, if she comes in,
yeah,
she stays
if she
away
comes
from
in,
that.
yep.
Yeah.
Do you think AEW could keep her undefeated all the way until Forbidden Door?
Unless Chris Statlander comes back, yeah,
I'm telling you, it's not Statlander.
I think that's Statlander is
That may
the
upset some
only.
people. That may upset some people, but like it's time to get off that Statlander train. She can't stay healthy. She's very good, but she can't stay healthy. And you'd make a huge mistake by making her to be the one to be to beat Jade.
Yeah,
I'd rather see Ember Moon or um uh
I'd rather see. To be honest,
Athena.
I'd rather have you bring someone in, one of the older ones like Leva Bates or Sky Blue or something, be the one to dethrone her as a shock value, like just as a pure shock of like, holy shit, one of the AEW like under underused talent has just knocked off the TBS champion. Okay, it doesn't have to be for like a massive amount of time. It can be for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's still something to go, okay, Leva Bates has
You
come
had
in.
that.
And,
I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna knock it. I mean, like it's still it's a different idea because, like you said, it gets the stigma, the weight of the undefeated streak off of Jade's back, and then
yeah,
Jade can go back to carrying the title and
yeah.
working and killing it. So I can see it. I can see it working. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it doesn't have to be for a title match either.
No, it doesn't. It
It
doesn't
just
at all.
has to. It can just be a regular match, and you have like Leva Bates or Sky Blue or one of the many ones that they don't use or they only use on Dark. Just come in, wrestle the match, like Action Andretti, like what happened with Action Andretti.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
give.
I love the idea. I love the idea that you just brought up of it being a non-title match even more. You let him pin him, do a roll-up pin just to make it sweeter, Scott. uh yeah. Do a roll-up pin and and then that Sky or Leva Bates or whoever gets
Yeah,
really, gets a lot of confidence and is like, I'm going to challenge you again. And this time it's going to be for the TBS championship. And then Jade puts her down.
yeah. Jade's
Yep.
just like dominating,
Yep.
and or the match goes back and forth, and then yeah, and then Jade just dominates the end of it, sort of thing. That would work better.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
So
we skipped over the whole Wardlow interview. We skipped over the Wardlow interview where he was talking about his dad.
yeah. What
And
Steven
that's why
said.
he grew his hair out. And I'm sorry, that was like what, 2 months worth of growth?
I don't know. I don't know. I yeah. So again, like I know I just got done shitting on this whole Wardlow thing, but I mean, the show was decent. I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't a grand show. Um, but you know, so guys, here's the part in the show where we share out the link for everybody. Um, Here, Scott, I'll post this in the private chat so you can post it on yours. Do we need to do that? I think we do. I think we do. But here we go. I'll post this in here. Guys, if you're interested in coming on the show, just click that link. Have a camera, have
Make
a
sure you got a
microphone.
camera.
Yep. I'll give you a couple minutes here. But what Scott and I are going to do is Scott and I are going to break down the Rampage and Dynamite card, and then we will close out if there is then no takers. So Rampage, we're going to have the Elite versus AR Fox and Top Flight in a rematch for the AEW Trios titles. And then Daniel Garcia is going to take on Ricky Starks. Jade Cargill defends her TBS title against Vert Vixen, which I love that they're using Vert. I wish they would use her a lot more. Would love to see her get signed to AEW full time. And then Dustin Rhodes battles Swerve Strickland. So that's on Rampage on Friday, the 17th. On Dynamite next week, they have John Moxley takes on Evil Uno. And the traditional tag team battle royal to see who advances to Revolution for the AEW tag team titles. Teams shown were Best Friends, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Lucha Bros, Butcher and Blade, Tony Nese and Ari Daivari, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, and Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Yes, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to win that. I'm calling it now.
As much as I would like for it to be any other team.
Yes. All right, closing the link, guys. We've got one person, and this should be no shocker. This is Mr. Hunter Dillon.
It's the Skip
Well,
Master
hello.
himself.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hello,
Hello,
Mr.
sir.
Hunter.
And before we get started, I want to thank you again, Chase, for the new toy, you smexy W.
My man. Yeah,
Do
no,
that again, Hunter. Do it again.
You smexy W.
Oh. You're
Yeah,
gonna make him sin. You're gonna make him sin.
Yes, in case you're wondering, yes, this is a boom arm. Yes, Chase sent this to me, and I couldn't be more appreciative.
Absolutely. I'm glad it worked for you. I was kind of curious when you asked me to send it to you. I was sitting there like as soon as you asked me to send it, I was like, I wonder where he's gonna put it in the hideaway. But it looks great, man. It sounds great. So awesome. I bragged on the show that I have like 5 here at the house. Well, when I went to the post office, I was like, hey, how much? And they were like, oh, it's going to cost like $25. And I was like, I'm not paying $25 to ship this. So I paid $17 on Amazon to just buy you a new one. I was like, that's stupid. I was
Hell of a lot easier.
Don't tell Josh that, though.
Oh, well, Josh is different. Josh lives 10 minutes from me. I can just go hand deliver Josh's. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to ship
Fair
Josh's. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How much to ship one to Australia?
Oh, I have no idea. But I was
Probably.
flabbergasted. I was like, you want 25? And like the lady was like, she got super mad that I even asked. I was like, you want $25 to ship this? And she was like, yes. She was like, that's how much it is. She's like, we have the weight scale right here. And like, she's like shoving it in my face. She's like, see, look, that's how much it is. And I was like, I believe you. I was like, I just think it's ridiculous. And I was like, I'm not shipping this. And then she was like, okay, fine.
Just give the one that you were gonna send to me. Just hand that over to Josh tomorrow. He may need it.
Yeah, I've got a few I can hand over to Josh. But yeah, I'm glad it worked out for you. Hunter, what did you tell us what you think of AEW Dynamite tonight?
It was okay. As Raz mentioned, it was better than last week's, although this has to come into play, and there were no less than 3 in tonight's episode.
No less than 3.
No less than 3. The first one, that opening matchup, they should not have let Jeff Jarrett wrestle tonight, only for the fact that his dad passed away. He needed time to spend time with the family, And if they were going to let him wrestle, which they did, they should have at least let him win. As much as I hate Jeff Jarrett, they should have at least let him win.
That's a very old school mentality. And Jeff and his dad are very, very, very old school. Jeff and his dad had been in the business for years. But the old school mentality is, the show must go on. The show must go on. So
you work when the hits the fan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it happened, but I do agree with you, Hunter. I like that sentiment. I think that, maybe Jeff wanted to work. I don't know, but I think that just given the fact that 5 minutes prior to him hitting the ring, they showed a graphic about his father passing away. I just think maybe that match could have waited until Rampage or next week.
Yeah. The second one was that Texas Tornado tag match. That went on a little too long. And especially, as you mentioned, Chase, it's a 2-hour show. You just ate up a little more than a quarter of your TV time, not counting commercials, for that match.
Yep.
If you had cut it down to like maybe 20, 25 minutes, or heck, 15 minutes, okay, there would have been no problem with it. But you just ate up a lot of your TV time right there with that one match.
The perfect ideal time for me in my book is 18 minutes. 18 minutes is perfect. There's no reason to go over 18 minutes, especially on TV. For pay-per-views, I'll give you some leeway, but on TV, no match should go over 18 minutes.
Right.
So, I think that's stretching it out just a little bit too long.
And unless it's pre-advertised as like an Iron Man match or as
absolutely. But I don't think
it's a
Iron Man
title.
matches. I don't think Iron Man matches should be on TV.
Or
No.
if it's a title,
I
if it's
think
like
that's
a if
ridiculous.
it's like a title match where it's that they can go close to the time limit, that's fine. Like
Yep.
you can have that, but I agree that you don't want to go 30, 35, 40 minutes on a TV show, especially when you've got limited time on that TV show.
Exactly. Especially when you're on a network that say, hey, you gotta abide by this, You're eating up time,
I mean, AEW is good in that regard that they can get overrun if they need it. But they've
Yep.
been good. They've been very, very lucky in that regard, and Warner Brothers have done really well by them in doing that. Like, so it's just you obviously don't want to play that too badly.
Mm-hmm. And the third skip card, MJF. MJF.
Captain Rafucho?
Rafucho.
Rafucho?
Rafucho. I don't know how
We
you pronounce it.
We appreciate the follow, sir. Appreciate that. I think he makes that 156. Yep, that's my 156 follower on Twitch. So there we go.
5'6". Hey.
156. I like it. My man.
4 more away from I-60. Oh no, wait, no, never mind. I was
No,
gonna
we
say
need the
I was gonna
I-70.
make a joke. So I botched the joke.
I think
That's an
that's
X on me.
I think that's part of the joke anyways.
That's an X on me.
Hello,
Anyway,
Mr. Thompson. Hello, Mick.
Anyway, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yes, MJF, the third skip card of the night.
Yes.
And he's probably going to wind up being a permanent skip card for me for a while. I don't know if you saw on his Twitter, but there's a new t-shirt out, and I am very, very appalled by it.
I'm a poor. T-shirt.
Congratulations, MJF. You've just become a permanent skip card. Every time he comes on, this is an automatic skip regardless.
That's
you don't want one of those I'm a poor shirts?
No.
No?
No.
It'd be like I get the marketing behind it. I get the absolute marketing behind it. It's a brilliant marketing. People are going to buy it because it just plays into his role.
Yeah. The only problem is, in my eyes, there's a fine line between being a heel and being a complete asshole. And I think MJF might have hop, skipped, and jumped over this line one too many times, especially now.
Look, MJF is a complete and utter asshole, and his character has always been that. And one of the things that's made him so good in his character is that he blurs those lines, and that you don't know if what he's saying is real or bullshit.
True.
Like, it's been one of the things that has kept him and brought his character to the level that it's at to get him on with that belt. Like, we wouldn't have put the belt on him. We wouldn't have wanted him to have that belt if he wasn't such an asshole and he was just a mediocre character.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think about it that way, Hunter. Like, if he was such a mediocre character, he wouldn't have got into the feud with Punk. He wouldn't have had one of the greatest feuds with Jericho. He wouldn't have almost destroyed Cody multiple times. Like,
yeah.
The dude knows how to work. He has a great mind for this industry and for they say Jeff Jarrett's the best, one of the last of the carnies. I think MJF is one of the last of the characters. Because you are getting him and you don't know, is it Maxwell Feinstein or is it Maxwell Jacob Friedman?
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably just my mentality in it. I don't know.
No, he's still a bitch. Don't let
You said it,
don't
I
let
didn't.
Scott don't let Scott don't let that whole oh well just pull the curtain back. No, if he wants to be a bitch he can be a bitch.
You said it, Chase. I didn't.
I know.
There we are.
Oh, who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah, I decided to transfer back over to the Millionaire Studio. Started the new season tonight, but it didn't quite go as well as planned. So I just been kind of dwelling over here for the past 5 hours.
Hey, you stay consistent with it, brother, man. You'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
While we're talking about that, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Well, you can find me on all of the socials, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the Twitch at HunterDillon95. I'm starting to try and stream 5 nights a week, Monday through Fridays. We did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire tonight. Didn't go as well as I had hoped, but we're going to try it again every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can just check your local listings there. I don't know where the time zones are. My brain's kind of mush right now. Tuesdays and on the port.
No, Matthew.
Matthew.
Hunter is innocent. Hunter is innocent.
I'm innocent until the clock hits midnight, which is in about 7 minutes. Oh boy.
And then he turns into the sinner known as H Dog.
Yes, H Dog. Tuesdays and Thursdays are trivia nights where I invite people to come in via Twitch chat and play Trivia Pursuit Live 2 with me. That's been doing very well. Friday nights are Yu-Gi-Oh nights with my friends from Rocky Mountain Pro. That's always a fun time. Monday nights are just sheer and utter randomness. So keep an eye out.
I like it. All right, Hunter, I am going to go ahead and let you get out of here, sir. Make sure everybody go check out Hunter on Twitch, HunterDillon95. Give him a follow. Play Trivial Pursuit with him. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All that good stuff. Hunter, as usual, we love you, and we appreciate you coming on, sir.
I will see you in the Discord. I might host Millionaire there. Who knows? I might do some Family Feud there, too. Depends.
Absolutely. There you go.
Thank you very much, as always, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Take care, my friend.
All right. Scotty Claus.
That's me.
You got anything you want to close us out with?
Not today. Nothing fantastic today.
All right, fantastic.
Oh, besides the fact that Buddy Matthews is became the champion of Melbourne Championship Wrestling this past week.
You said that to me, yeah. I saw that. That's awesome. So I don't have anything either that I can think of. Make sure to check out the I-70 hot tag tomorrow night. I will not be there. Brian J. Bebe will fill in for me. And they will be interviewing Dick Richards of the Empire. So
Dick Dicks.
Yep, Dick will be on the show tomorrow, and I'm sure Valencia. Yep, I'm sure Valencia ePaz will be in the comments running their mouths. Nothing new, nothing surprising there. So we'll see how that goes.
Are they getting bitch slapped soon?
Are
they getting bitch slapped soon? I mean,
getting real close. They told Josh and I to find a tag team, but we're having a hard time finding a promoter that wants to take that match. And I don't know, man. I've got a couple of good tag teams in mind that I know would love to slap around some panochas. So
maybe we have to hit up the TK and see what he says.
Yeah, right. We'll find somebody who will take it, and when Josh and I find a tag team to squash those two bugs, we'll do it. If not, I'll squash those two bugs. So, Dick the Dripper. Wow.
That sounds like a horrible porn name.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
I wouldn't put that on anybody's porn name. That sounds
someone's
like,
probably got it.
yeah. I was gonna say I would. That sounds like a nickname you give somebody, or like a not a nickname, but that sounds like a name you give somebody when you're making fun of them. So
He's a dripper.
But check out the I-70 hot tag tomorrow night, guys. I'm going to be on a date with my wife, and then we are leaving town on Friday. We won't be back, so I probably won't be on the hot tag or the pit stop on Monday. But make sure you guys go show Josh and whoever's with Josh those nights. Make sure you show them some love, and tell Dick Richards that I said for him to suck it, bitch, and the Empire sucks. Other than that, man, I don't really have anything else. Guys, we are at 47 members in the Discord. Go join the Discord. Like I said, we will be doing the Revolution watch along in there. You got to be a subscriber to the Twitch to do so, guys. So make sure you check that out.
We've also got this Saturday for Elimination Chamber.
Yep. But I won't be in the Discord on Elimination Chamber.
No, you won't. Elimination Chamber this Saturday. That may be in ABJ's Discord. But
maybe.
Yeah,
you should definitely ask ABJ about that.
I might even do it myself.
But other than that, guys, I don't have anything else, man. Battle of the Valley Saturday night. That's right.
Yeah, you got that too. Yeah, we got fucking everything this coming week.
That's right. It's gonna be a busy month. All right, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit those follow buttons. Got that QR code right there for you. New feature on Restream. A weird feature, but I mean, I'll take it. It is what it is. Click the either hit exclamation point CR Media in the chat or scan the QR code, and it'll take you to all the social medias, guys. Make sure you hit the follow button, the like button, the share button, notification bell, so you never ever miss anything. And as always, for myself, Chase CR Media, and for my co-host, Scotty Razdark Wolf, Scotty Claus.
Try the veal.
Try the veal. Good fight.
Good night.
And good night.